Your car is acting up, the shop wants hundreds just to look at it, and you're wondering if you're about to get ripped off. Here's what nobody tells you. Most car problems aren't broken parts. They're confused computers that just need to be reset, the same way you restart your phone when it freezes. I'm going to walk you through exactly how to fix the most common car problems yourself, organized by the symptoms you're actually experiencing. No mechanic needed, no tools required for most of these. And you can do all of this in your driveway. Reset number 10. Your check engine light is on. Let's start with the one that scares everyone. That glowing orange check engine light appears, and your brain immediately goes to worst-case scenario. New engine. Thousands in repairs. Car is totaled. Take a breath, because here's what's actually happening most of the time. Your car detected something slightly off, stored a code in its memory, and turned on the light. The problem might have been a one-time glitch that already fixed itself, but the light stays on until someone clears it. Before you do anything else, check your gas cap. Pop it off, inspect the rubber seal for cracks or debris, and screw it back on until you hear a click. Drive for a day or two, and see if the light disappears on its own. This one simple thing accounts for a surprising number of check engine lights. If the light stays on, you have two options for clearing it yourself. The first method costs nothing and requires no tools. Turn off your car and pop the hood. Disconnect the negative battery terminal first, that's the black one. Then disconnect the positive terminal, the red one. Touch the two cables together for about 10 seconds to drain any remaining power. Leave everything disconnected for 15 to 20 minutes. Reconnect the positive terminal first, then the negative. Start your car and the light should be gone. The second method is better and only requires a cheap scanner you can buy online for around $20 to $40. Plug it into the port under your dashboard near your left knee. Turn the key to on, but don't start the engine. The scanner will read whatever codes are stored. Write them down or take a photo in case you need them later. Select clear codes and the light vanishes instantly. Now here's the important part. If that light comes right back on within a day or two of driving, you have a real problem that needs attention. Clearing the code didn't fix anything. It just reset the warning. But if the light stays off, you just save yourself a trip to the mechanic. One more thing to know. If you live in a state with emissions testing, clearing codes resets your car's readiness monitors. You'll need to drive around for a while before your car is ready to pass inspection. Plan accordingly and don't clear codes the day before your smog check. Reset number 9. Your car is idling rough or stalling. You're sitting at a red light and your car starts shaking like it's about to fall apart. Or maybe it idles fine sometimes and tries to die other times. This drives people crazy because it seems so random. What's usually happening is your car forgot how to idle properly. Every car learns over time exactly how much air and fuel to use when you're just sitting there not pressing the gas. When the battery gets disconnected, when sensors get cleaned, or when the computer stores bad data, those learned settings get erased or corrupted. The fix is letting your car relearn from scratch, and you don't need any tools to do it. Start your car and let it warm up completely. Watch your temperature gauge until it settles into the normal range, which usually takes 5 to 10 minutes. Put the car in park and take your foot completely off the brake and gas pedal. Turn on your headlights and your air conditioning to put some electrical load on the engine. Now just sit there and let it idle for another 5 minutes without touching anything. The key here is keeping your foot away from the gas pedal entirely. If you tap the gas, you interrupt the relearn process and have to start over. Let the car figure it out on its own. After about 5 minutes of idling with the AC and lights on, your car should have relearned its idle settings. Turn off the accessories, take it for a short drive around the block, and the roughness should be gone. If the rough idle keeps coming back, you might have a dirty throttle body. That's the part that controls airflow into your engine, and carbon buildup can gunk it up over time. You can clean it yourself with a can of throttle body cleaner and a rag, but that's a topic for another video. Reset number 8. Your car hesitates or feels sluggish when you hit the gas. You press the accelerator and there's a delay before anything happens. or the car feels lazy and unresponsive compared to how it used to drive. People often think they need a tune-up or something expensive is failing. Most of the time, your throttle position sensor just needs recalibration. Modern cars don't have a physical cable connecting your gas pedal to the engine anymore. Everything is electronic, and the computer needs to know exactly where your pedal is at all times. When that calibration drifts off, you get hesitation and sluggish response. Here's how to reset it without any tools. Turn your key to the on position, but don't start the engine. Your dashboard lights should come on. Slowly press the gas pedal all the way to the floor and hold it there for 5 seconds. Slowly release it all the way back up. Repeat this 2 more times, pressing all the way down, holding 5 seconds, releasing slowly. Turn the key off and wait about 10 seconds. Start the car normally and let it idle for 2 or 3 minutes without touching the gas. What you just did is teach the computer the full range of your gas pedal, from completely released to fully pressed. The car now knows exactly what you mean when you ask for more power. Some car manufacturers have slightly different procedures for this, so if your car still feels off after trying this, check your owner's manual for a throttle relearn procedure specific to your vehicle. Reset number 7. Your transmission is shifting weird. The transmission is the part most people dread having problems with because repairs can get expensive fast. But here's something mechanics don't always mention. Your transmission learns your driving habits over time, and sometimes what feels like a transmission problem is actually just bad learned data. If your car is hanging onto gears too long, shifting harshly, or seems confused about which gear to use, try resetting the transmission's adaptive memory before assuming the worst. Turn the key to on without starting the engine. Press the gas pedal all the way to the floor and hold it there for about 20 seconds. Keep holding the pedal down and turn the key to off. Now, release the pedal. Wait 2 full minutes without touching anything. Start the car and go for a drive. For the next 15 to 20 minutes, drive gently and vary your speeds. Do some city driving, some highway driving if possible, and let the transmission relearn your habits from scratch. The first few shifts after a reset might feel a little firm or different than usual. That's normal. The transmission is rebuilding its shift strategy based on how you're driving right now. After a few days of normal driving, everything should smooth out. This reset works best if you've recently bought a used car that someone else drove differently than you, or if you've had transmission fluid changed, or if shifts have gotten progressively worse over time for no clear reason. If harsh shifting continues after the reset and a week of driving, then you might have an actual mechanical issue worth getting checked out. But try this first because it costs nothing and takes 5 minutes. Reset number 6. Your steering feels heavy or stiff. You start your car and the steering wheel feels like you're trying to turn a boat. No leaks under the car, no warning lights, just steering that takes way more effort than it should. Most modern cars use electric power steering instead of the old hydraulic systems. There's no fluid to check. Instead, an electric motor helps you turn the wheel, and a sensor tells the computer which way you're pointed. When that sensor gets confused, the power assist doesn't work properly. Here's the reset that brings your smooth steering back. Turn the key to on without starting the engine. Turn your steering wheel all the way to the left until it stops. Turn it all the way to the right until it stops. Do this slowly and repeat it twice total. Start the engine and let it idle for about 30 seconds. Turn the wheel left to right one more time, slowly, then center it. Your electric power steering system just recalibrated itself. The sensor now knows where straight ahead is and can provide the right amount of assist. Do this on flat, level ground for the best results. And if your steering still feels heavy afterward, check your car battery. Electric power steering systems need good voltage to work properly, and a weak battery can make steering feel stiff even when nothing else is wrong. Reset number 5. Your key fob stopped working. You walk up to your car and press the unlock button. Nothing. Try again. Still nothing. The car just sits there ignoring you. Before you replace the battery or head to the dealer for an expensive reprogramming, try resensing the fob yourself. Sometimes the communication between your key and your car just gets out of sync, and the fix takes about 30 seconds. Get inside your car manually using the physical key hidden inside most fobs. Close all the doors. Put the key in the ignition and turn it from off to on rapidly, about 5 to 8 times in a row, ending with it in the on position. Listen for a chime or watch for the locks to cycle. That signals the car entered programming mode. Press any button on your key fob. The locks should respond to confirm the connection. Turn off the ignition and test the fob from outside the car. In most cases, it works again. If you have multiple fobs for the same car, you might need to program them all during the same session. Have your spare fob handy and press a button on it too while the car is in programming mode. This doesn't work on every car, and some newer vehicles with more advanced keyless systems require dealer programming. But it works on enough vehicles that it's worth trying before spending money. Reset number 4. Your tire pressure light won't turn off. You filled all 4 tires to the correct pressure. You checked them twice with a gauge. But that little tire light on your dashboard refuses to go away. The tire pressure monitoring system sometimes needs to be told that you fixed the problem. It doesn't always figure it out on its own. Look for a TPMS reset button first. In many cars, it's under the dashboard near your left knee or in the glove box. With the car on, but engine off, press and hold that button until the light blinks 3 times. Drive around for about 10 minutes, and the light should stay off. If your car doesn't have a button, check the infotainment system or instrument cluster menus for a TPMS reset or calibration option. Newer cars often bury it in the settings somewhere. No button and no menu option means you might need to do the battery disconnect reset from earlier, which clears the TPMS memory along with everything else. One thing to rule out first though, make sure you didn't forget the spare tire. On cars where the spare has a sensor, low pressure in that tire triggers the warning light even if all 4 corners are perfect. The spare is easy to overlook. Reset number 3. Your screen is frozen or glitching. Your car's touchscreen locked up and nothing you tap does anything. Or the Bluetooth keeps disconnecting. Or the navigation has completely lost its mind. Modern car infotainment systems are basically tablets bolted to your dashboard, and they need reboots just like any other computer. The quickest way to reboot most systems is finding the reset pinhole. Look around the screen near the volume knob or under the edge of the dashboard for a tiny hole. Stick a paper clip in there and hold it for 10 to 15 seconds. The screen will go black and restart. If there's no pinhole, dig through the settings menu for a factory reset or system restart option. This usually doesn't erase your saved stuff. It just reboots the computer. When all else fails, the battery disconnect method resets everything, including the infotainment system. It's the nuclear option, but it works. After a reboot, your screen should respond normally, Bluetooth should reconnect, and navigation should remember where land and water actually are. Reset number 2. Your climate control is blowing hot on one side and cold on the other. Dual zone climate control is supposed to let the driver and passenger pick different temperatures. But when one side blows hot, no matter what you set it to while the other side works fine, something got miscalibrated. Little doors inside your dashboard direct hot and cold air where it needs to go. These blend doors have motors that move them into position, and the system tracks where they are. Sometimes that tracking gets thrown off, and the car loses track of where the doors actually are. Try the battery disconnect reset first, since it forces the climate system to recalibrate from scratch when power comes back on. You can also try a manual recalibration. Turn the system to maximum heat on both sides and let it run for 2 minutes. Switch to maximum cold on both sides for 2 minutes. Cycle through all the vent positions and fan speeds. This walks the blend doors through their full range and helps the system relearn where everything is. On some GM, Ford, and Chrysler vehicles, holding the defrost and recirculation buttons together for 5 to 10 seconds triggers a climate reset. You'll hear the vents clicking as the system recalibrates. Most hot and cold imbalance problems come from calibration issues, not broken parts. Try these resets before paying for actuator replacements. Reset number 1. Your car won't start, but the battery is fine. Lights come on, dashboard powers up, but when you turn the key, the engine won't crank. Battery tests good. Now what? Your car might think you're trying to steal it. The immobilizer system is designed to prevent theft by checking whether the key being used is legitimate. When the system loses sync with your key, it blocks the engine from starting even though you're the owner. Try this Resync procedure. Use your original key from the manufacturer, not a copy. Put it in the ignition and turn to the on position without trying to start. Press and hold the lock button on your key fob for 10 to 15 seconds. Turn the key off. Wait 30 seconds. Try starting normally. Some vehicles need this sequence repeated 2 or 3 times before the immobilizer accepts the key again. If the security light on your dashboard was blinking before and stops blinking after this procedure, the Resync worked. If the car still won't start, the issue might be something else entirely, like the starter or a bad connection. Before you hand your wallet to a mechanic for an expensive diagnostic, try these resets yourself. Most car problems that seem scary are just confused computers needing a fresh start. The check engine light that's been stressing you out might disappear in 5 minutes. The rough idle that makes you nervous at every stoplight might fix itself with a simple relearn. The sluggish throttle response might just need recalibration. Now, I want to hear from you. What warning light is sitting on your dashboard right now? And what car do you drive? Drop both in the comments. I read every single one, and if enough people have the same issue, that's becoming the next video. If this helped you out, hit subscribe because I'm dropping more videos like this that put money back in your pocket instead of handing it over to the shop. Thanks for watching.